Hello, everyone. So, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Philip Charlson. I am the Senior MEP Solutions Specialist at Applied Gray Tech. I want to thank you for joining me for this week's 15 at 15, our Friday session, where we offer insights into Ideate software techniques, tips, and training on Fridays. So our focus today will be applying dependent views with the Ideate ViewCreator. So we're going to jump right into it here. Before we get into that, the tool, I just want to highlight a couple things here. First off, when you are working with any of the Ideate tools, you do have access to some help features. You can get access to the Getting Started guide right from the initial Ideate ribbon. Also, you can access the support if you need any assistance, the support at ideatesoftware.com. Also, just a note, the 15 at 15 session focus is always on getting started guides and help documentation. So you can either follow along, access the Getting Started guide from the main Ideate ribbons help menu, or you can access it directly from the Ideate tool dialog boxes. So you can see that here within the PowerPoint. All right. Again, if you do have any questions during this session, we do have the chat open. Richard is on the chat line here, and he'll be able to answer any questions that come up as I'm going through the demonstration here today. Again, you can also reach out with the support at ideatesoftware.com. And at the end, we do have a really quick survey. We want to get your feedback on this session and anything for some future sessions that you would like to see. So if you've already been using Ideate, have a few ideas as to, hey, how do you do this? Please reach out. Also, if you've missed some of our sessions, you can find it on YouTube under the 15 at 15 recordings. So each, I believe every other week there's been a session, but I think for the next few weeks, there's going to be one every Friday. So a pre-holiday treat for you. All right. So getting into the topic at hand today, we are going to look at the ViewCreator. We're going to look at something very specific with the ViewCreator, though. We're going to look at the Apply Dependence tool. So as you can see, when you go to the ViewCreator, you have a few different options listed within there, and each one works a little bit differently. So again, today we are concentrating on the Applying Dependence option within here. And with that, it allows us to select the way that we want to name some of these views that we're going to be duplicating. And we can utilize a scope box, crop box, grid settings. We also have some additional settings that we're going to talk about as well that can come into play with some custom type situations that you might run into when creating your views. Again, if you want to look at, again, some of the help for this particular tool, when you do open up the ViewCreator, you'll find the online help in the upper right-hand corner. So hopefully today will get you kind of on the right track using this tool, but if you need to come back and take a look at some additional information, take a look at that online help. All right, so we're taking a look at the dialog boxes that come up when you open up the ViewCreator. And when we go in and select the Apply Dependence option in the ViewCreator, we get the second dialog within here. Now, if you don't see the Apply Dependence as an option to select, what that means is you probably don't have any dependent views already created within your project. So the key is make sure you have at least one dependent view. And that's something that you can go in and duplicate. Typically, you probably have a number of dependent views, within a project. And typically where you find these dependent views are where you've got a larger scale type project where you have different areas laid out, and you want to go in and create an area A, area B, area C, area D, and so on. So you have a number of these dependent views already built up within it. So after, again, you select on Apply Dependents, you have access to that. What it will show you is the dependent views that you have to select from. So in this case, there's 3 different dependent views that I could go in and check. And I can check one, I could check all of them. You can pick and choose which ones that you want from there. When you click Next at the bottom, it'll take you to the next selection as to, okay, where do you want to apply these dependents to? So you can go through basically your project browser list almost and select the types of views that you want. And you notice that in the middle selection here, I'm selecting floor plans, but you can actually select ceiling plans to create dependent views as well. So I can go in and set it up for a second level, a third level, a fourth level for ceiling plans. I can do that for my floor plans. For an MEP side, which is, again, kind of my specialty, you might go in and create them for HVAC, for mechanical piping, for plumbing, for electrical. You can create as many types of views as you need to when you're going in and applying these dependents. So that's what really makes it a very, very useful tool, because you're able to create all these views at once. Now, once you have that selected, it'll take you to the last screen here. Within this screen, you have the view rule at the top, which you can go in and select. You can see right now it's just listing the scope box. And below that, we have some property overrides, so we can select a specific type scope box or some other overrides that you may have for that. Over here, it's going to list out all the different views that it's going to go in and create. And then at the very bottom, you have an option where you can swap out words that are initially created to what you want them to display. So I'll show you that here really quick in a demonstration. You also have the option to go in and create a prefix or a suffix to the view name as well. And then finally, your last step is go in and create your views, and then you'll see them within your project browser. All right, so let's get into a quick demonstration here. All right, so we have a project open here, and you'll see that we do have 3 dependent views. I'm just going to pop one open here just so you can kind of see what we're starting out with. And you'll see that we have a number of other levels there that we don't have dependent views, but we want to go in and create them and not have to go and create them all individually. So we're going in, we're selecting those 3 dependent views here. And then we're going to select what levels, so ceiling plans, so 3 or 4 additional levels, and then also the floor plans here. So as you can see, I didn't have to do the second level floor plan because we've already got those created. All right, and then we get to our next step here. So it's simply populating all views. So it just takes a couple seconds here. All right, so we have all those listed. And you can see that we can go in and change a view rule if we wanted to. And then also, again, with our scope box, able to change those. Here we can go in and set what we want to look for and then what we want to replace it with. And it automatically goes in and changes that. So we get a preview of what that new view is going to show up as. So you can see how easy that was to go in and rename all those views. So we're creating 21 new views. And what did that take? Maybe a minute or so? So we created a lot of different views within there. Now, these were all based off of scope boxes. Now, I know some of you don't like scope boxes. Sometimes you have instances where you've got some weird shapes for your buildings. So what we can do, we're kind of backtracking here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this crop area here. So I'm getting rid of the scope box so that we can go in and modify it. And we're basically going to change the crop to kind of follow the path of the building here. So just a quick little modification. And I know I deal with this a lot when I assist a customer because they deal with a lot of schools, and apparently they don't like creating schools square anymore. So they're all really odd shaped types at this point. All right, so now that one is not using a scope box. I'm basically turning off the scope box just to kind of show you what happens with this instance here. All right, so no more scope boxes. We are just using the crop areas. We're going to go through the same steps. This one we're doing, just a little bit quicker here. So we'll just select all three of them again. And we'll go in and select our ceiling plans. And again, our floor plans. Click next. So here we're going to switch this. And again, it's going in and populating all 21 views here again. Switch that to dependent. And this time I'm not going to change the names. I'm just going to create the 21 views. And we're going to see those views pop up here again. But I'm going to switch over to a different view now. And you can see that it copies over those crop areas. I know I have had to deal with this in the past on projects where you've had to go in and copy a crop area from one, go to the next view, modify it, and then go in and copy in that new one, remove the old one, go on to the next one, and that takes forever. What I'm doing now is we kind of backtracked again, and I just want to show you quick the customization. So if you have a situation where you want to customize or create your own new rule for dependent views, you are able to do that. So you just click the little pencil icon here, and it gives you some options for the view naming definition. You'll see at the very bottom, it does give us a preview of what the name will show. Also, if we want to add any property overrides, if we want to lock in any specific values, add any prompts to items, and again, just simply going in and creating those. So it's something that you can go in and develop for your company and be able to create different styles if you want to have it develop them, develop the views specific to your situations there. All right. So that is the end of the demonstration there. So I want to thank everybody. We're kind of right up to the end of the session here. I just want to remind everybody to take the survey at the end. Again, hopefully you've learned a little bit of additional information for the Ideate software. I know from my own personal experience using this tool, it has saved me a lot of time, just this specific tool in general here. So if you don't have Ideate software yet, I encourage you to go at least get a trial version of it. Give it a try. Also, make sure that you're getting the latest versions of the software as well. All right.
Yeah, thanks, Philip. This is Richard. You did such a fabulous job. There were no Q&A, but I did put the previous 15 at 15 YouTube channel, or the playlist basically, in the chat so people could access that as well.
All right, excellent.
And also, you mentioned the trial. The trial is 30 days. It's full function for Ideate apps, the solution that contains Ideate ViewCreator. So there's no restrictions as far as functionality goes for Ideate apps for that 30-day trial.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We'll see you next